Right, Mr. Stemke, are you ready to proceed with Ms. Foster?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so let's go on the record in the matter of Kenesha Foster, 201705, and appearance, counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shepke, appearing on behalf of my client. Assignment consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, thank you. Kenesha, your name, please.
Kenesha Foster.
All right, thank you. And today's the date scheduled for a probation violation hearing. Your client had violated, was on probation for assault and battery, and it was taken under 771.1 status, and she was sentenced October of 2020, and then failed to appear for probation appointment November 24th of 2020, failed to appear for drug testing October 29th, November 6th, and December 1st, all of 2020, did not complete any of her terms of probation, and then subsequently received new charges. And she was taken into custody and brought before this court on August 4th of 2023, whereby this court entered a not guilty plea and set it for hearing for today. And counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, my client will not be requesting a violation probation hearing. She understands she's violated. We are prepared to proceed.
Okay. And so, Kenesha, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. And so, ma'am, you heard the plea and the allegations, correct?
Yes.
And as to the allegations that you violated probation by failing to appear for probation visit and failing to appear for drug testing and not completing any terms of probation and receiving new charges, how do you plead?
Guilty, I guess.
No, I don't want you to guess. I want you to be certain, please.
I didn't do the probation, so guilty.
Okay. And you understand your rights
Yes.
regarding probation violation, correct?
Yes.
And you also understand by entering into a plea that you will be waiving some of those rights, specifically your right to a contested hearing. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, correct?
What would be the penalty?
Well, this court, the recommendation at least is for this court to revoke your under-advisement status, revoke your probation, close your case without improvement, serve 30 days jail, and pay a $50 probation violation fee. That's the recommendation.
Okay. Yes, I understand.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
And knowing all that, do you still want to continue with your plea?
Yes.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea today?
No.
All right, counsel, if you can please go to your client.
Yes, a term and condition of your probation was to test, and you failed to appear to testing as ordered. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
furthermore, you failed to complete any terms, conditions ordered by the court as a term and condition of your probation. Is that accurate? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. And furthermore, term and condition was not to accrue any new charges, not to violate any laws or ordinances. And you did, in fact, while on probation, get charged with a new crime. Is that accurate?
I guess. Yes.
Not you guess. Were you charged with a new crime while you were on probation? Yes or no? Is that a yes?
God damn, yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Kenesha. Thank you. Kenesha, we're recording these proceedings. And so only one can speak at a time, so that's why the attorney had to repeat the answer so that we can have a clear record, all right? The court does find the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to probation violation. Indicate that, violation will enter based upon your plea of guilty. And counsel asks for the recommendation.
Your Honor, it has to be adopted.
I'm sorry, what's that, Kamisha?
I'd ask that they be adopted, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Kamisha, I'm not sure what you're saying.
I'm not saying anything.
It sounded as though you were saying something and interrupting the record.
I didn't say nothing.
All right, and where is it you're living right now, Kamisha?
At the moment, I don't have an address to give.
Are you working?
I've been sitting in jail.
Okay, let me clarify. Before you were brought into custody, were you working?
No,
Why not?
I don't have an answer to give.
Well, have you been applying for work?
No.
All right, well, given that Kamisha was sentenced in October, of 2020, did not complete any terms of probation, and picked up a couple new convictions as well, the court finds that the recommendation is appropriate. Is there something you'd like to say, Kamisha? Kamisha?
No.
Okay, then please stop interrupting as I'm talking. The court's going to adopt the recommendation. The court's going to indicate under advisement status is revoked, probation is revoked, the case is closed without improvement, $50 probation violation fee, 30 days jail. Actually, the court's going to indicate 45 days jail, credit for 10 days. All right, anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll be off the record.
All right, Commissioner. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, you as well.
Not spoken with Ms. Gonzalez. Looks like it's scheduled for sentencing. And originally it looks like it was Mr. Goldpaw who was on it.
Okay, she said she spoke to her attorney last week. I presumed that was you, but,
I'm
okay,
looking, but momentarily, Judge, I'm verifying. That's very possible.
that's okay.
No, that is correct, Your Honor. It looks like we did have a dialogue. I sent everything over to her on August 8th. We are prepared to proceed, Judge.
Okay, she said she did. She said she was ready to go and she didn't have any other questions for you. So, all right. So we are, so counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client.
And your name, please.
Angelina Gonzalez.
Okay, can you move the microphone a little closer to you? Okay, can you try that again, please?
Angelina Gonzalez.
All right, very good, thank you. Today's the date scheduled for sentencing on your client's plea to a reduced charge of operating while visibly impaired by alcohol. High BAC, driving without license suspended, OWI were dismissed. And counsel, did you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, it's factually accurate.
All right. And anything you'd like the court to know?
Your Honor, I just saw the recommendations for 18 months probation. I'd be respectfully requesting consideration for a lower amount of time. As to the terms and conditions, they are appropriate. I'd respectfully request they be adopted.
All right, thank you. And ma'am, I don't recall, I mean, you have a knee, a leg injury?
Yes.
Okay, is that as a result of this date or something separate?
Oh, no, something separate.
Okay, all right. And so that's why you're currently not working?
Correct.
When you anticipate going back to work?
Hopefully by next month. I'm off for another month. I have doctor's note, I think. Tomorrow I get an MRI, so once we see what's really going on with my knee, then I can get a better gauge and I can go back to my job.
Okay. All right, and then you had something occur on May 10th. What's going on with that?
May 10th
Yes,
of this year.
yes.
Hmm,
Well, let me just, out of e-course, the traffic offense?
Oh, yes, I got pulled over, so my taillights were out and I didn't make court like when I was supposed to for e-course, and so I ended up going to jail for like a couple hours and took care of everything.
Okay. All right, and how did you get here today?
I had to drive.
You don't have a valid license.
No, I don't.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. Who's picking you up because you're not going to be driving out of the,
I can see if someone can come and get me, but I mean, I didn't have no way to get here in the first place, so that's why I had to end up just driving myself.
okay? What about Uber, Lyft, calling somebody to
I can see
arrange?
someone can come and get me, so I don't have any money to do Lyft or anything.
Okay, so why, did you make arrangements for somebody to drive you before to court today?
Well, I literally like didn't have anybody, you know, my mom has to work, my dad has to work, those are really the only two people that can help me. They're neither one are available.
You don't have anybody else you talk to on a regular basis? Any friends,
No one
other
that-
family members?
No one that I know that would have been able to like actually bring me today, no.
Okay. All right, well. All right. I do appreciate your honesty, ma'am, but that's what, you're going to continue to not have a valid license if you continue to drive.
I understand.
And which leg is it? Your right or your
Am
left?
I right?
And you're still able to drive?
Yeah, I can drive. It's painful, but I can drive.
Okay. All right, well, that's another reason you shouldn't be driving. In addition to the fact that you don't have a valid license and the law says you can't drive.
I know all too well.
Okay. So the court is going to indicate, after review of the report, the recommendation, hearing from counsel, hearing from Ms. Gonzalez, that there's reasonable grounds to depart from MCL 769.5. The court also finds that there's, that the recommendation of 18 months is appropriate. The court's going to also indicate you are eligible for early discharge. You're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. That means, ma'am, that you can't drive. You're not free to state without the consent of this court. You are to report truthfully to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require, in person, writing, or virtually. Your notified probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You're not using any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed to be subjected to random testing. The rehabilitative goal for that condition, so the court can monitor your progress in maintaining absence and sobriety. You are to enroll and participate in outpatient substance use counseling. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is to assist you in providing coping mechanisms so that you may maintain sobriety and prevent relapse. And your level was pretty high, it was 0.23. And hopefully your coping mechanisms will be of assistance so that this doesn't occur again. 50 hours of community service. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is not be further develop work and life skills and impact to the community. Obviously, you're going to have to wait until you're cleared to do that. But you do have time to complete that. And no driving unless cleared by the Secretary of State. Any questions regarding the terms and conditions? The court's going to indicate a $300 fine, $100 screening assessment fee, $900 supervision oversight fee, that's $50 a month, and 18 months, and since you're eligible for early discharge, some of that money may not be due, okay? $200 for the cost of prosecution, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50, for a total of $1,625. And you do have a bond that we can apply of $250. Do you have any other funds that you can pay today?
No.
Okay, The court will indicate $250 today. And ma'am, what is your plan for, what's your payment? What's your plan for payment on the balance of $1,375?
If I start back working next month, then I would be able to do 200.
Okay, you know what, let's do this. Just because we're unsure as to when you're returning back to work,
Okay,
I will indicate you to coordinate your payment plan with probation by October 1st.
okay,
That way you'll know what's going on
yeah,
with your needs.
okay.
All right. And so, ma'am, make sure that you are contacting somebody to pick you up, because they will be watching. And if you are driving out of the parking lot, you will be arrested, and that'll be a whole other charge. All right, as the court did indicate, you are eligible for early discharge so long as all of the following have occurred. You've completed at least half of your original term of probation. All probation requirements have been completed. You've had at least 3 months without any violations, and all monies have been either paid in full or you've made a good faith effort to making full payment. All right, please have a seat over probation. Somebody will be with you shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and so we're going to go on the record in the matter, we are recalling the matter of Kenneth Turner 23454A. I'm just waiting for Mr. Shemke to connect audio. Okay, and Mr. Shemke, I recalled the matter of Mr. Turner, and so your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shepke here. My client. This time we consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Okay, and Mr. Turner, your name again for the record.
Kenneth Turner.
Okay, and so counsel, you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Turner in a breakout room, and what is it that you're doing?
Your Honor, I've gone over my client's rights to have a contested hearing. That won't be necessary. He's prepared to admit that he is in violation.
All right, thank you. Mr. Turner, are you, Mr. Turner? Mr. Turner? Okay,
Yes.
thank you for going, all right. I just want to make sure you're going somewhere quiet. Are you at work?
Yeah, you can leave.
Yes, I am.
All right, I'm gonna put it down.
Okay, are you able to go into a quiet room, please?
Yes, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. All right, and sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
All right, thank you. All right, and as to the allegation that you tested positive for alcohol July 7th and July 17th, how do you plead?
guilty.
And you've gone over your rights and rights for probation violation purposes, correct?
Yes,
And you understand all of those rights.
yes,
You also understand that by entering into a plea, you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your rights to a contested hearing, correct?
yes,
And you also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, correct?
yes,
Specifically, the recommendation is for you to continue and complete all terms of probation, pay a $50 probation violation fee and 15 days jail. You understand that?
yes,
And knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea?
guilty.
Okay. And has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No,
And Counsel, if you can please run to your client.
Yes, I'd like to direct your attention back to July 7th and July 17th. Did you take an alcohol test that indicated the use of alcohol in violation of your probation?
Yes.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, the court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violations. Indicate does no violations 2 and 3 will enter. And counsel asks for the recommendation.
Your Honor, we'd be respectfully requesting consideration for a jail review date. I know that that was put forth as 15 days. My client otherwise has done well on probation. As to the new charge, he brought to my attention that he is anticipated to be put on probation regarding the case out of the 3rd District Court. He is gainfully employed. He has a strong family support system. I'd be respectfully requesting any consideration for leniency when determining the appropriate admonishment. Thank you, Judge.
All right, and sir, you also have a pending matter out of the Utica District Court, correct?
I wasn't aware of that.
Well, driving without license suspended.
That's not new, Your Honor.
It appears it was April of, well, okay, what? The warrant is new, no?
Okay, I may have a warrant because I haven't paid on that ticket, so that's, but that ticket came before I came to you.
Okay, but, and I understand that, but you have a warrant because you didn't take care of it.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that ticket, Your Honor, so I do plan on getting that warrant released soon.
And did you take care of your matter in St. Clair Shores?
I've been paying on it.
Okay. And sir, where is it you're working?
I work at St. Mary's Cement.
How do
It's
you
in
get back
Dearborn,
to work?
Michigan. I catch a ride and sometimes I walk back home. It's only like 5 minutes from my house, driving wise.
Okay. Sir, you were sentenced April 26th, and a month later, you are charged with doing the exact same thing again. First of all, you can't even drive. You don't have a valid license. And you can't consume alcohol, yet you did that day, and also July 7th and July 17th. So what were you doing on July 7th that you were consuming alcohol, sir?
That was after the holiday, Your Honor.
Okay, does your probation order indicate not consuming alcohol except for around the holiday?
No, Your Honor, and I messed up.
Not just once, sir, but multiple times, because you didn't just have one drink that day, did you?
No.
How much did you drink?
I would say 2 drinks.
Well, all right. How about you say the truth, sir? Because based on your level, it was not just 2 drinks.
2 to 3 drinks, but I don't know how much liquor was in the cup mixed with juice. I didn't pour my own cup, Your Honor.
All right, now what about July 17th, sir? What holiday was that after?
It wasn't a holiday. I just slipped up, making dumb decisions.
Sir, you apparently can't even be around alcohol.
And I haven't even been going out, Your Honor.
All right, well, here's what the court's going to do. You're on probation with this court. You violated this court's order now 3 times. And the court is going to indicate 15 days jail. The court's going to adopt the recommendation. You're going to continue to fill out terms of probation, pay a $50 probation violation fee and 15 days jail. How much notice do you have to give your work?
I mean, I just started this job, so it's more than likely I might get fired.
Well, sir, I'll give you until Friday to report. Maybe you can have a conversation and see if you can start back up again in 2 weeks.
You don't think you could hold off on that and just give me another chance? And if I was to mess up again, you can double or triple my days. I know I'm not going to mess up again, Your Honor.
Sir, let me just put this all into perspective for you. You were sentenced after you pleaded guilty to an amended charge of operating visibly impaired. And that was on April 26th. Then in the interim, which that'll be something we deal with at a later date, you were arrested for the same exact charge in a different jurisdiction. Then on July 7th, so not only in violation of that other court's bond, this court's order for you not to drink. Not only July 7th, but also July 17th. You've had a blatant disregard for this court's orders on multiple occasions. And let's see what your first violation was. Which I believe was handled with your probation officer. Because your first violation, you failed the test on June 9th, and so we increased your testing.
She didn't tell me I failed the test on the 9th. She told me I missed the drop that day.
Right, so you failed the test. Either way, you didn't test. You didn't participate in your drug test. If you didn't drop, you failed the test. So it's the same thing, just worded differently.
Okay.
Sir, not only do you continue to put your own life in jeopardy by your actions, you're putting the life of society in jeopardy as well. There's reasons why this court puts forth the conditions it does.
I understand that, Your Honor, and I messed up, and I feel I'm on the right track to do better. I lost my job in the middle of July, and I was trying to come up with money for court July 28th. So that's really the reason why I drunk on the 17th. But I feel like my life is turning around now. I found a new job. I'm going to the gym, not going out. So I'm not even going to be around liquor. I'm just trying to work and deal with my probation time. I have a year with you guys. I have 2 years in Detroit. So I'm just trying to do the right thing. I feel like this job is going to be a career changing job. I'm making a high amount of money, so I'm not trying to lose it.
Well, and I can understand that, sir. And in the event that, you had lost your job in July and you were concerned about making your court payments, all you had to do was communicate with your probation officer that you needed some additional time to pay because you had been laid off.
It wasn't the payments to you guys. It was to Detroit. I had to pay my lawyer for Detroit.
Okay. Sir, I can appreciate all that. And I can appreciate that you don't want to lose your job. But I also have to enforce this court's orders.
That's why I said if you was to give me another chance, and if I was to mess up, you can double or triple my days. I know I'm not going to mess up. So if it was
Sir,
to you.
You've already had 3 chances with this court. And then you also have your conviction or your other matter that you have to still take care of in Detroit. How many chances should somebody have?
I mean, honestly, I have had a lot of chances, and honestly, I wasn't aware of the ETG, so I was like beating around the bush and taking the risk of drinking, not knowing it went so many days back. I thought it only went a couple hours back, so I was being irresponsible and trying to go around it. So that's why I dropped dirty for real.
Okay, and I can understand that, but that's why this court increased your testing, because you missed one test, which is a presumed positive, so the court increased your testing. And so the court's going to indicate 15 days jail, sir. Have a conversation with your employer and see if you can resume after 2 weeks. But I'll give you until Friday to report. So it gives you some time to get some matters in order. That will be August 18th to report. So make sure you're communicating with Ms. Shaw as to how and where to report. All right, Mr. Turner?
All right.
And since you were already scheduled last week and we had you come back this week, you did have that extra time, you could have had that conversation with your employer.
Well, I thought I was gonna be able to convince you to keep me out of jail, so I haven't talked to them yet.
Okay, well, sir, hopefully you will still have a job when you are out. All right, hope this goes there too. Thank you. All right, let's go off the record for a moment.